Hey, how about
All right.
another team that had expectations? Villanova played Penn. You love nothing more than to constantly ask the simple question, who's their head coach? Villanova is one of your favorite teams to ask that question for. The answer would be Kyle Neptune, who is now in year 2 at Villanova. And tonight was a clear sign that not much has changed, even though he got a lot of new players in. This was a last year Villanova type loss. Justin Moore, great tonight. 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 for 11 from 3. Hey, how about those big time transfers he brought in, Cart? TJ Bamba, 6 points, 2 for 9 from the floor. Tyler Burton, 7 points, 2 for 6 from the floor. Hakeem Hart, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 2 rebounds, 0 assists in 9 minutes. Lance Ware, 0 points in 7 minutes. I
Yeah.
was told
I mean,
that was a top 3 transfer class.
I was told it was a top 3 transfer class. And this is the thing. Like, it kind of goes to the same fact of Indiana. It's just like, it's not just about bringing guys in. And I said this on, and I'm not sure if you heard it or not, on Riley Friday, but I was seriously skeptical if these guys are coming to just play for Villanova and play in the Big East or actually play for Kyle Neptune. That's why I thought this was a big year for him bouncing back after last season. And me personally, I just didn't see it because of the fit of this team. Yes, he brought in guys, but he brought in a bunch of guys who are honestly worse than Justin Moore and play the same position as Justin Moore. They went through this whole basketball game, Greg. First of all, they were 22 for 63 from the field, right? 34%, 35% round up, Mad Podcast. 27% from 3, 27.3. So I round down 27% from 3. They had 6 assists on 22 made field goals, 6 assists the whole game. Justin Moore himself had 3. So, like, outside of that, you're getting 3 other assists. Everybody else, everyone talked about, Mark Armstrong being a guy that possibly breaks out. 17 minutes of this game, 2 for 5 from the field, 6 points, no assists, no rebounds, 3 fouls. It's just like, I just don't see it with this team. I don't think it fits. And I don't think they necessarily got guys who are complementary to each other. Like, you get Justin Moore performance, you get Eric Dixon, who had 12 and 9, only 4-11 from the field, but almost a double-double. And then outside of that, you're getting really nothing else. Like, Jordan Longino played 30 minutes in this game. He had 14 points, but like, you brought in all these guys because they were supposed to be so great that you didn't have to play guys like Jordan Longino, who played and started last season.
They like Jordan. They like Jordan, though.
But you like Jordan more so playing like 15 to 20 minutes a game. You don't want him to be a 30-minute guy.
Fair. That's fair. I want to shout out Tyler Perkins, freshman from Penn, who was phenomenal tonight. He's off to a really good start in his young career. He had 22 points, led the team in scoring. You also didn't ask for permission, by the way, during your segment. Or do you want to go back and retroactively ask for permission?
Permission for?
To box score watch? We have to ask for permission now. I know a lot of people don't like when we box score watch. So just
I mean, you could box score watch though when a team only has 6 assists on 22 made field goals.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you. You know that's how I am. So let me ask you this with Villanova, because last year you liked their roster. We went to see Villanova play Michigan State, and maybe I shouldn't say like the roster, but you loved Cam Whitmore. You've always been a huge Whitmore guy. You thought he was a superstar impact player in year 1 in college. And obviously they had the injuries. Justin Moore didn't come back until late. I know you like Eric Dixon, though. We both like Eric Dixon. We thought he was a very good player. Like, I don't think you and I came away from seeing Villanova in person last year and left being like, that's a bad team that can't go anywhere. It was always like, they'll get it together. By the end of the season, they'll play their best. Then they never did. Is that more about the roster, or is it strictly a Kyle Neptune thing to you? Because this year's roster to me is totally different than last year's, and here they are with a similar result early in the season.
See, for last year, I think that, well, us personally, I thought that we were actually a little bit higher on Villanova, like you said. But in outside circles, it was more so said that this roster wasn't good. So because he has these new pieces, you're really going to see like what Neptune can do and what he can do for Villanova. And then you come out in the first week, in the first month of November, and you lose to a team that was picked to finish 5th in the Ivy League after losing their best player last year in Jordan Dingle. It's just, It's just not good vibes. It's just not good. It seems to be that this is the same exact team with new faces that it was last year. It just doesn't work, and it just doesn't look fluid out there.
Addition by subtraction, Jordan Dingle.
Jordan Dingle not that good of a player.
Listen,
Doug beat him, so he's not that good.
We do this with the high majors all the time, right? As soon as the team starts winning 2 games without the guy who transferred away, we're doing addition by subtraction. Clearly, it's not addition by subtraction to lose Jordan Dingle, but little freshman Tyler Perkins, looks pretty great right now for Penn, right? Sometimes opportunity is all that people need. That's what I'm kind of learning in college basketball. It's like sometimes you just got to give a dude some confidence and say, hey, you're our guy. Go show what you're capable of, and guys figure it out. Villanova is not a team that can happen for, though, because all of these guys, I said it during the transfer class, I think all of these guys are complimentary guys from top to bottom. I think Tyler Burton, TJ Bamba, Lance Ware, Hakeem Hart, all 4 of them are guys that operate best anywhere from 4th to 6th best player on their team. If your team's any good, that is. Like Tyler Burton can be the 2nd best or best player on a bad team, for sure. Same with TJ Bamba. That's what they've been doing their whole career, right? Like good 1st or 2nd option on bad teams. So you get a bunch of guys who were the 2nd option on bad teams and lump them together. Then what? Because right now that's even who Justin Moore is, right? Justin Moore's the 1st option on bad teams. So I think everybody's kind of like doing the Spider-Man meme, pointing around right now of like, who's a good player on a good team? And nobody knows. And Kyle Neptune certainly doesn't know. So I don't know where they go from here, because at least last year it was like Cam Whitmore will go out and do things. And if he plays great one day, maybe he just like shoots us to a win. This year's team, I don't even think you have that, right? It's like they go as far as Justin Moore takes them.
I mean, you got 25 and 7 from Justin Moore. That should be enough to get a win against Penn.
So you're blaming the other guys then?
Yes.
Okay. And then is that the other guy's fault, or is it Neptune's fault?
A little bit of both. I mean, I think you got to pull the right strings. I mean, like you said, it's like a Spider-Man meme, all these guys pointing at each other. I literally think, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, they brought in guys that are just like Justin Moore, but not as good as Justin Moore.
I mean, Hakeem Hart and Lance Ware got to be sitting here like 16 minutes combined. But at the same time, what did they do in their 16 minutes? Nothing. So that leaves you in a really tough spot, man. The highs and the lows, the beautiful things and the dark things from the transfer portal era, man. Sometimes it doesn't work. And early indicators that it's not working.
And also sometimes guys don't take sophomore year leaps. Not everyone takes Doug like leaps. And I heard a lot of things about Mark Armstrong and how he looked over the summer. And honestly, he looked okay in some of the exhibition games as well. It looked like not in this game. Let's just say that.
I got one number I know you love. 3 minutes. Chris Archidiakono.
That's 3 too many.
I was thinking you'd feel pretty good about that right now. If he plays 0 instead of 3, you think Villanova wins? Gets 4 more points?
To be honest, yeah.
I'm trying to see if he has a plus minus from that 4 minutes. I don't have it, but all right. Final question on Villanova for tonight. I'm sure we'll talk about it more throughout the season. Where does this team finish in the Big East? Because we had a lot of people telling us they were going to challenge to get up in that top tier of Creighton, Marquette, UConn. I just did a show last night. God bless them. But they looked me dead in the eyes and said they had Villanova 6th in the country in their preseason poll. And I reacted appropriately. You would be proud of me. But goodness, ladies and gentlemen, come on. What are we doing here? Where does this team finish? Because on paper, they were the 4th team in this conference behind Creighton, Marquette, and UConn. Where do you think they finish?
I think they finished somewhere in like the 6 to 7 range, to be honest with you. Because I think that Xavier can be a lot better if they get the guys, back, not from injury necessarily, but I know they got a couple of transfers that are waiting on eligibility type things from overseas guys. And I just believe in Sean Miller as a coach in general, and I think they got a couple pieces on that team. I would pick that team over Villanova right now.
Okay.
And also we've seen what a Villanova team looks like once the wheels fall off too, by the way. They're not a team that reacts extremely well to adversity. So if it's happening right now, I'm already keeping a close eye on what their next game looks like and how they bounce back.
I need a phrase to go to. Help me think of a phrase that when we're trying to talk about a team that was horrible last year, who's built around the same guys again this year, and they're still bad, and we're supposed to be surprised by that. I need a phrase for that, because I feel like that's the root of all these teams we're talking about with issues right now. And I know Villanova brought in new guys. Not saying they didn't. The new guys look problematic, but it's a team built around Justin Moore and Eric Dixon at the end of the day, again, for the second straight year. Those are the two best players on paper on this team.
Yeah, well, if you're going to put makeup on a horse, one, that's animal cruelty, and two, it's still a horse. It's just a horse with makeup.
All right, that's the phrase. Anytime I say the horse with makeup, that's what I'm referring to. For the rest of this, Villanova, horse with makeup is what it is. I would put St. John's over them. I'll say that from what I saw tonight. I really would. I think what St. John's showed me in the first 10 minutes of this game is better than anything I expect to see from Villanova this year. So,
really?
And by the way, Rick Pitino, Kyle Neptune, put them both in a box. You know who's coming out of that box?
Patino
with an empty turtleneck in his hands. That's all it is.